Rick Without the K James presents In My Opinion Podcast.
What's up, you guys? I'm Sabrina with In My Opinion, and our next topic is going to be, do women get in relationships for love or for financial reasons?
Let's start with you, Al.
I'd say a little bit of both, depending on the moral compass of the individual. Some people, I think, do choose love. I think that is true. I think some people do...
1960 no more?
I think some people are motivated by money and status, and that does happen. It doesn't happen all the time, and I don't want to generalize, but I mean, yeah, I bear witness to this similar situation, so I don't know what happens more, but in my experience, both do happen.
So you have been taken advantage of financially by a woman.
Pardon me?
You have been taken advantage financially by a woman. I know you have in your past. So my question is, do you think the relationship started that way or it developed that way?
That's a good question.
I think it developed that way. And I think it's mostly my, intentional, practice, making a precedence of just,
No, I don't. You're talking in fucking circles right now.
You know what I'm talking about, though. You know exactly what I'm
Read
saying.
my mind.
So, essentially,
What I'm saying is a bunch of bullshit.
Can't you hear what I'm thinking?
Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills?
You know-
This girl got you, didn't she? She got you, bro.
there is times in my life when I have just thought this has been a tremendous mistake, tremendous. But I've gotten through it. But financially, yes, there are certain things I feel like that were little booby traps, and I certainly fell for them. But I acknowledge that there was things I should have noticed. There was things I should have been keen on, but there was also a deadly precedence that I set. So,
Okay, I understand.
so I take my own credit. You know what I mean?
Mr. Rick, how about you, big man?
As far as I know, there's never been any woman to get in a relationship because of finances. That was sarcasm. That's almost every fucking woman. So, I'm gonna steal Shawn Wayne's has a good joke about a woman trying to find a sponsor, is what he calls it. And I've met a lot of women that I think go into relationships not looking for a boyfriend, they're looking for a sponsor. I know my ex was that type. Her ex before me was a fucking drug addict, but he had a good job. So as long as you smoke meth all fucking week to make that money, it doesn't matter how you mistreat a woman. And she held this dude to fucking to a high standard, and you would hear the stories that they shared, and you're like, why? And now seeing that relationship, I realize why. It's because he was her sponsor. On the weekends when he would come home from working and fucking doing construction or whatever he did, he would take her places, and she could take the 90% of a fucking drug addict because the 10% of that time was well spent and money spent from his end. So I think a lot of women go out into a relationship looking for a sponsor. That's just my personal opinion.
Miss Sabrina, how about you?
Why the hell would you deal with a fucking headache? Seriously, you're gonna put that much effort into trying to milk a man and deal with his bullshit, who's a drug addict, and sit here and try to work you, knowing that, or whatever it is that had happened, saying that boob traps, like, bro, like, get your own shit, you know what I mean? Put that much same effort into doing your own. And that's the honest to God truth, like I said, I don't need a man to sit here and have a fancy car or have this. Like, if I know that we can work together, that's cool. But, like, I think there are few percentages that go in it for love. Like, I heard this saying, like, okay, the first time a woman she marries for love. The second time she'll marry, if she marries, it's for security and finances, and I haven't experienced either one. I'll go back to my dad. Sorry, Dad. No, I love you. Anyhow, you got to be secure enough to make sure you can get out if you want to get out. Why depend on a man and then the next one and then the next one and the next? That's a motherfucking job in itself. You know what I mean? No.
And I don't want to say that. Let me make this clear though too. Is I've never dated women that were just straight gold diggers. They all came from a background, especially my ex. She made decent money herself. It's just that she didn't want to spend her money to do shit. She wanted to spend the man's money to do shit.
Okay.
So every time we would do something, she'd be like, "Oh, well, aren't we going to dinner?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bitch." But
so she has she comes in that with the expectation.
With the expectation of finding that sponsor.
If we're going out, then and you're in a relationship, at least in the relationship that I've been in, I feel like you should partner up with that. Shit, you get this, we're gonna go out to dessert after. You know what I mean? Like, let's do something like that. I don't see how women can just go in there and expect a man you have to pay. I ain't gonna lie. I've been on many dates where I'll pay for my own shit or I'll pay for yours just because I don't want you to expect shit from me. You know what I mean?
I tell women that all the time.
And next time you can pay me. If you want to go out again, cool. Don't expect shit from me because I didn't come into this relationship looking for anything from you but some type of company, and that's it. And then from there, I'll let you know.
So if you were dating two gentlemen at the same time, let's say you just started and you're trying to figure out who you like the most. One's through a friend, one's at work, whatever. You're just you're just at the beginning where you're trying to find out who you like. They both seem to be pretty close, but one guy has a better job, has more security, maybe has a house. Are you going to tell me that will not make the difference?
Okay, when you say job, security, all that, career, if they have that, yeah, that's cool. I've been around plenty of guys who have things, you know what I mean? And sometimes just because they have things at the moment doesn't mean that they're secure, if you want to say. Yet, like I said, I like to work with my men. I like to see us grow. So it doesn't matter whether he has it or he don't have it. If I'm going to choose you, I hope that you choose to build with me so that way I can have a say-so on what you got. Because if it matches my ideas, then we're good for each other.
Yo, it's your boy Charlie Murphy, my main man, Big James. That's the one you think, the comedian Big James. Get up on him.